And all of that is true and accurate. The point that I want to hone in on is all of the varying, sophisticated, complex dynamics that surround this case with this child throwing a desk at a teacher. We as practitioners will move into that situation with an attempt to do what's daggone near impossible, which is to manage all that complexity, right? The natural, which seems like consistent and persisting tendency, is we as practitioners moving into that complex dynamic, focus on all of the complexity and miss this kid. That's all I'm saying. We miss the kid. And sometimes we miss the caretaker. And it's not intentional, and it's not because we're trying to do harm. We're really trying to do the best that we know how to do. But many of our clients find themselves in very difficult, challenging situations, at war with themselves on the inside, with a lot of people around them who say they want to help, and no one has been able to truly connect to what is the identified source of the problem. We don't really have a real, true relationship with this little boy or little girl, because everything we're doing with him is driven by a report that we got that said he threw a desk, and he's saying that's not who I am. That's what I did, but that's not who I am. And I'm ready to talk to the person who can convince me that they truly care about who I am. Not truly care about meeting the standards of the school, the regs of the state, whatever the ethics are. They don't care about that. They want to know that they have someone that is truly in tune and working their fingers to the bone to understand that at the end of the day, I am a valuable, good person that wants to be loved. And the more you talk to me about throwing this desk and the anger that this teacher has and how they want to put me out and they're going to expel me, the more you distance yourself as an adversary to my healing process. That's all I'm saying. Yes?
I was going to say, but by educating them about this wheel, you're showing them that they are a separate person from their actions. And so instead of just saying, I'm a bad person, I'm always going to be this way, I'm just like my dad, or I'm just like, whoever it is, you're empowering them to take control of their thoughts, take control of their feelings, take control of their actions, which gives them hope that they can change. And if you can do that, then you can enlist them to make those changes, and you're doing the mirror, you're reflecting, but that is going to get someone to work with you if you give them a plan of what to do. And if they know that they can gain control of their feelings and gain control of their actions, then they're more likely to have a plan and make changes.
Now this is what you laid out is a beautiful, beautiful process. There's a step right before any of that can happen. The client has to give you permission to do it. Now, we deal with a lot of resistance in this program. A lot. We know it. Clients who are unavailable for service. Anybody know anything about it? I should see everybody hand up around unavailable for service. We have some unavailable for service. Man, that UFS means something. When I see UFS, I'm not just looking at clients that have been authorized and clients that have been billed. And I'm seeing some of this too. That's why I'm up here. Yeah, unavailable for service means that this person has chose to deny access of this program to their family and their life. That's what UFS means to me. That's why I'm here. All this other stuff don't really matter to me. We gotta heal somebody. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Somebody wanted to say something.
You said you have to get, I think I agree with you. You have to gain permission from the individual.
Yes, sir.
Before you can do that. And I think it has to be in that initial meeting with them. It has to be in that initial meeting that you're not focusing on the actions. You're not focusing what's on that paper. You're here to display and let them know, I'm here to help you and your family. You have to share some of yourself with them in order for them to share with you.
That's right.
So And you have to come in there with those thoughts you talked about earlier, non-judgmental at all.
Mhm.
You know, so you're not coming in focusing on those actions.
That's
Coming
right.
in focused that you have a human being in front of you that ultimately they want to be okay and you want to help them be okay. And that's what you're here for. You're here to help them.
Yes.
And you have to set that up in that initial meeting with them before you can start to gain
Mm.
this wheel and get through the thought process and the feelings. Because everyone they've been dealing with in this process, been dealing on the negative actions
Mm.
mostly of what they've done.
That's
No
right.
one's taking time to try to get into their feelings like you said before.
That's right. Yes. I'm gonna get Shanona, then I got you, Steph. Yes.
I was just going to piggyback off what he was saying. The initial communication is the make or break. So normally, what I try to do when I first started, things changed a little bit, but the first thing that I ask my clients is, what was the reason you felt the need of service? Like, once they feel like they're requesting a service, then I try to explain to them how I'm going to help them get to their request.
Right.
So I try to get that point across, at least in the beginning.
Yes. Stephanie, and then I have you. Yes.
I think one of the ways that you get to the client to allow them to let you in is empathizing with them. So
Mhm.
they've heard 9 million times, that's bad, that thing that you did is bad.
Uh-huh.
But I think a lot of times what they don't hear is, it's okay to feel that way. It's
Mhm.
okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, but we're gonna work together on finding a better way to react to it.
Nice. Ashley.
I was just gonna say, just going back to when you said, how do you figure out how do you define what they're okay to be okay means to the client, or the mom or the family? And it's one thing I used to do, and I kind of worked through this process yesterday during a TBS assessment.
Nice.
But just first figuring out what they want the outcome to be, I think that's really important, because sometimes, like Shatara was saying, what if you're okay and they're trying to be okay, and that's kind of conflicting in some way, like especially with parent and child.
Yes.
But I think it's important to identify what that is, and what I would ask them is like, even for like little kids, I would say if I had a magic wand, or if I could snap my fingers, or at the end of this, what do you want? What do you need? And kind of asking them that. And then I think it's important to see if that's a realistic goal, or if there's a conflict in asking that question.
Right.
Sometimes parents or a kid may have an unrealistic expectation for
Yes.
them to be okay. Like,
Yes.
if they want dad, but dad is incarcerated, or dad's deceased, or whatever it is, that's not a realistic expectation.
Right.
And you can't really get that. That can't be an outcome.
Sure.
So then having them to work through and shape what okay means for them, or how how we can make that a realistic goal, how you can get there. I think that's something that I used to do, like asking them what they needed at the end, what would you like, or forgetting anything else, with a magic wand, if you could make that thing happen, what would it be? And then they would actually tell you, sometimes they know that things aren't realistic, or they know that I can't bring my dad back. And you kind of get through thoughts and feelings and work through that process
Sure.
in that way. So that's something that I used to do.
Yes, that's
And
very
used
that's very
yesterday.
powerful. You gonna say something?
Yeah, something, it's very similar to that, but as you know, my internship's at a substance use clinic, so a lot of people are court ordered to be there.
Mhm.
So what I've found so far has been helpful is that I've just said, so tell me what you would like to get out of this. And I clarify that could be anything. It doesn't have to be about the substances. Obviously, they're there court ordered because of that. And the same with like a lot of kids in this program, like their parents are making them do this because of something. So I offer to make a goal, to help them make a goal that's specifically whatever they want. And I usually, so far, have been doing that before we even get into any of the other stuff, so that it's immediately about them and what
Nice.
they want, and then we can tie everything else in later.
Nice. Now, I do want to note that this segment of the training, which I'm about to bring to a close, is more about therapeutic relationship building, having a process and a model to guide our observation of people and process and family, and helping us to navigate these complex, difficult, and challenging arrangements that our clients, their surroundings, and their families have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's just helping us as a tool of analysis and observation. This point is more about that, observation and analysis, more so than it is about intervention. Intervention is the result, good intervention is the result of good assessment and planning, right? It's tough to have good intervention if the assessment and planning is flawed and irrelevant. So this is more about assessment, planning, trying to organize, order things that are difficult to define and to sift out when we're working with clients. The next installment, we're going to spend time on intervention. What do we do with the information that we gather from the board? And I think that's going to speak more directly to the question that you raised, Shatara, which is a very good question. What do we do in situations where we're trying to connect and trying to help a client, but some of the things that have actually happened that led the client to sitting before me has injured, hurt other people who are also involved in trying to heal through the process? How do we keep that, continuity, and we keep that in a way that is healthy for everybody who's involved? So we're going to talk more about intervention the next time we get together. But the interventions that we talk about, we'll have an opportunity to actually apply it according to information that we gathered through the awareness wheel process. Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm going to try to articulate this best I can.
Go ahead.
Can you go back to the field?
Yep.
Can you read everything around there that's up on the board?
Disappointment, rage, confused, angry, betrayed, anxious, nervous, curious. And those were all the...
Right. And I think when we were doing that, everything that was driven when we got around the feelings kind of had a negative feel to it.
Yes.
And we also got to understand that feelings aren't always negative.
That's right. That's
And
right.
there's a lot of
Good for coming back
negativity
to
up there
that.
around that feelings.
Yes.
And you gotta, when you're with the clients, don't have that consciously in your mind that these feelings are always driven by negative things.
That's true.
We gotta find
Good
out
catch.
which the positive things
Good catch.
that drive their feelings.
Good
Because
catch.
if we figure out what makes them happy and drive their feelings in a
Good
positive
catch.
way, we can help them with the negativity part. And it's the same thing. You focus on what makes you happy, okay? And then we can figure out steps on how to take these negative actions that you have and turn them to positive thoughts and
Yes.
feelings that can generate positive
Beautiful.
results.
Beautiful catch. Thank you so much. That is absolutely ironclad accurate. Yes. There's no more I need to add to that. That was perfectly articulated.
I have something.
Yes.
Same thing with what he's saying. Some people are in a mindset that negative things is what makes them happy. I challenge, not me personally, but I have a challenge working with clients who feel happy behind their negative actions.